Brothers and sisters, generals, welcome to another edition of EBX discussion. And may that great divine be in our lives as brothers, sisters, family. Keep us protected and keep us prospering and paying attention to the important things of life. You know, and I honor thy ancestors, man, who fought so very hard to get many of us in that great foundation we're standing on, in that great divine space. That, man, it's a wonderful space to be. Of course, like we all say, after we get through them levels and them layers and get all the gunk out of our subconscious, it's a wonderful place to be. Again, salute to our ancestors, the righteous generals, brother or sister, that got many of us in that great divine space that we are standing on. And salute to the current subscriber and new subscriber. Anybody that view, I salute you and thank you. If you get anything out of what I say or Lord Lamont, music I play, anything positive on this channel, pass it on to the generals, you know, in the business of building generals, remember? And it's a wonderful space to be, and calling down protection on my family, those who's listening, children, you know, those who got right in their heart. Great Divine will protect us automatically, you know. Great Divine even looks over, you know, quotation marks, not trying to put nobody down, but even people who just doing stupid stuff. It puts signs in their path too, because a lot of times we always see signs. It's just that some of us don't pay attention to it, but those that are, I salute you, you know, whether family, brother, sister, general, in the world, online, younger or older. Let's go above and beyond, brothers and sisters. Go beyond these platforms, you know, as I like to say. Platform is just a place of expression, you know, but we go beyond, you know, and that's what we're going to get into. That's why I got this on one's banner. And today we're going to align with the universe. And also we're going to talk about and break down protecting our center. Now, we have a lot of great philosophers that speak on this, you know, and that's, you know, you can't think of as a trying to be this cosmic person. No, it's learning. And that's what learning does. It takes you to higher levels in one's mind, and it will transmit over into one's life. You know, it's just a matter of how deep one is willing to go to learn themselves, the world, person, place, thing. You know, as I draw that energy from Brother Bernie Mac, one of my favorite comedians, rest in peace and in power, when he said the MF word was a noun. You know, it names person, place, thing. But, you know, of course, that's not what I will call people, but I'm just using that as an example. That's where I got that from, person, place, thing. You know, and that's how we treat life, you know, person, place, thing, you know, standing on that mountain, brothers and sisters, like I always say, looking out over the whole world. But what's that one universe that we all have to pay attention to the most? That's the most vital in our life. It's our universe. And this is something else I got from a great brother. This is not mine. And this is something that he said. So this is what we do. We, you know, teachers, we all have had something or idea or something positive that we have maybe gotten from another general. So with that being said, as I heard from a great brother, we are the center of our universe. So what is in your center or our center? As I said a few podcasts ago, what do we think about the most? You know, what we think about the most, what we harbor the most, is what will manifest on the outside. And that's not no cosmic thing. That's gravity. That's principles. That's you know the old saying, what we put out, and you know the rest. You know, a lot of us are living this. You know, so it's more than just saying it. When you're living it in your life, it's wonderful. So again, that's not mine. It's from another great brother. We are the center of our universe, you know. So it's wonderful to learn from teachers in our life, whether it's family, brother and sister, young or older, in the world online. And I'm talking about something about a teacher that's real, not a preacher, but a teacher. And I used to say this a while back. We learn from a teacher. We only feel good from a preacher, especially if it's, you know, depending on who the preacher is, because I listen to teachers. I don't do preachers anymore. I spoke on that a little while ago too on the podcast, and I used Tech 9 as an inspiration. He was on the thumbnail, and I talked about how I used to listen to pastors. No, we need to be taught, not told things to make us feel good in the moment. No, we need teachers, whether brother or sister, to impact us for life. Things that'll help us vital in life. That's the kind of teachings we need. And we honor thy teacher, we honor ourselves, which is brothers and sisters that mean well. You know I'm always rhyming. I'm talking about really to the pit of the soul. And one who is connected or knows something about that universe, no matter how we think about it or how cosmic it sounds, step over into the new, and we'll be surprised. Just things that will enter our mind and ideas. Everybody walk is different. Everybody path is different. But many that listen to this channel, what do I always say? Every part of a righteous tree matters. When I say a righteous tree, that means brothers and sisters all over the world, different parts, different walks, different lives. But we're talking about the heart. As I said, a great brother said, that INNERVERSE. If righteous things is in there, you're a part of that righteous tree. So that means good brothers and sisters, those who just doing well, whether you're spiritual, educated, whatever the case. We talking about the heart, the soul, the leaves, the twigs, the branches, the bark. Every part of a righteous tree matters, because when all the components are working as one, when I'm speaking on humanity and our culture, brothers and sisters, you tell me what can be more powerful than that. But of course, some get there as far as awareness and knowing oneself and exploring. Like on my banner here, I got this graph on my banner. I got this here for a reason, because I want us to visualize the universe, and we're gonna break it down. Of course, I got some summaries I want to read, and remember, we don't solely rely on Google or any of those things, but we draw ideas from it, and come up with our own perspectives on life, But again, it goes back to that heart. What's in that soul? What we think about the most, Align with the universe and protect our center at all costs. Now, what's that center? Our psyche. Our psyche is that INNERVERSE or universe. Again, that's from another great brother. We honor our teachers. We honor ourselves, And again, we need teachers that impact our lives, not preachers that just make us feel good, And you can't sit on the pew forever, so to speak. At some point in our lives, we have to become a leader of our own lives, not really leading others. We have to be a leader of ourselves, and teach others to, as I told my son, Lord Lamont, we teach others to so they can become, I'm fumbling, I do that. We teach others to become leaders themselves, and we all can be leaders, and in a righteous way, and get away from the ego thing, and just, as I always say, as I said in the song, Great Divine said, let it flow. Just flow. Just keep flowing, No stops for toxicity or any of that. Keep it moving, And we help those along the way that's in the process of becoming an aware general. Again, protect our center at all costs. Please protect our center. All right, now I want to get to this graph. Now, it's more planets, of course, but I just showed a few. And as you can see on my graph, on my banner here, it has the Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. As you can see, Jupiter is the biggest planet. Now, there are other planets I'm going to read. We got Venus, we got Saturn, and we got Uranus, which is a funny sounding, Let me see. Neptune, those are other planets, And astronomy, as I'm finding out, when one is connected to that divine deep within, remember, then we glorify it on the outside. But it must and always and have to come deep within. There's no way around that. I don't care how many times we hear it. That's the only way to tap into that divine spirit, is deep in the pit of our soul. As I used to say, till we get to the bottom of that barrel, thong, get rid of all the gunk, crap, conditionings, habits, whatever the case. Get rid of that shit and get to that clean part of ourselves. Excuse me for the cursing. Get a little passionate sometimes. But I just wanted to read the other planets that are on this graph that's on my banner, because that's not all of them. Just wanted people to, take our minds, like I always say, above and beyond these platforms and superficial things. And I want to show how our body, computers are all similar to the universe. They all are similar. And we're going to see that in these summaries that I want to break down for my leaders and teachers. with a student spirit. And of course, I'm gonna have a hip hop break. I love my hip hop. It's good for our chakras. And I got one more chakra to go too. I did again. I reiterate. I did 5 chakra podcasts, and the last one was the throat chakra. One more to go, and it's a heck of a journey learning, and it's wonderful teaching those along the way via family, brother, sister, in the world, online. Remember, younger or older, it's beautiful. All right, now before I get to this summary and this hip hop break, I got, let me see, something, because I watch salute to Fat Joe and Jada. I like watching their platform. My son and I, we had fun watching it. And Jada Kiss had a story that was interesting. Salute to Rough Riders, everybody in that crew. But he had a wonderful story about because my son and I, we spoke on divine connection to dreams, and dreams is another way to connect to that universe, because it all connects. A great divine, Mama Nature, that universe, it all connects. And when we get up in levels of awareness to stop playing and really explore, we will learn these things, and not think it's something way out there or cosmic. No, we are all connected. It just takes so much going through layers and studying and and shedding away distractions. It's just we have to have full concentration of mind, body, and soul to get to know these types of things. All right. Now I want to tell this story about brother Jadakiss. He said about Styles P, his process of coming up with lyrics for music, and I thought it was amazing. And Jadakiss said that Styles P, he would tell the producer or the beat maker to turn the beat on. And Styles P, salute to Styles P, which is an awesome artist. Y'all know I love hip hop. I always give artists their props, male, female, brother, sister, as well as my son, Lord Lamont. He's a great artist. And my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical, may she rest in peace and empire, who was, as I always say, was a force to be reckoned with. But let's get back to what Jadakiss said about Styles P. Salute, Styles P. And he said he would tell the beat maker and or producer to play the beat, and Styles P would literally go to sleep. It's almost like he would snatch creativity out of his dreams. That's what I'm saying. He tapped into something. See, people would think that's weird, but it's not. It's just something that we as humans are not used to. So he said Styles P would go to sleep and wake up with all his verses for his song. And that's dope. And I'm telling you, most melanated people have that gift. It's just a matter of tapping into it. And I remember I told a story about Tech Nine. When he told a story about how Lil Wayne gets his verses, which is dope too. But let's finish with how in Styles P. Let's go back to Styles P. He said he would wake up with all his verses, all on point, all in the line. That's not an accident. You know what I'm saying? He's tapping into something. And see, that's a part of that universe or INNERVERSE. That's not mine. Again, that's another brother that said that, but that's what he tapped into. We all can have that. We can't think it's weird. Tap into it. We'll be amazed. Go where no man or woman or brother or sister ever has ever gone before, as well as, as far as in our mind and exploring. Because again, our body is similar to the universe. Because as I heard a great brother say here recently, everything in this earth that's made or here and been invented, it all came from a human thought. All these computers and all this stuff, it all came from us, especially melanated brothers and sisters. Real talk, it all came from us. So we shouldn't think we invented cosmic things. So we shouldn't think cosmic things are real, are weird. You know what I mean? Which is kind of a oxymoron almost. It's like we created all these things, and then we don't realize that we are cosmic and powerful too. So that's something I heard from a great brother, and that's one's perspective, or it could be an opinion. Everybody has different perspectives, but we keep living in this life. As my grandmother used to say, we'll see how really powerful and cosmic we really are. But it takes time, it takes practice, it takes studying. Again, full emphasis on the full 100% concentration. Focus on mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel in that psyche. If we can pay attention to all those things, those 7 senses, we will connect to astronomy and the universe and explore different parts of our body and brain, as I like to say, that sometimes we can go a whole lifetime and never tap into, but some people do. And but salute to that story Jadakiss told about Styles P. I thought that was dope. And there's many artists that can do that. That can just, Tech Nine, one of them, of course, I mentioned. Uh, I would say I'm gonna make another extraordinary list because it's a whole lot of artists, and not just artists, but people in general that's just extraordinary. I want to come up with a list, and I'm gonna name all the people that I think, and Lord Lamont, I'm gonna see what he got. People we think that are extraordinary, and I'm not just talking about people who have platforms or stars. I'm talking about even in our family, our everyday life, people we see and work with or whatever. We got extraordinary people all around us, as well as the negative and all that. But we're going to focus on the righteous, extraordinary people, We're going to make a list. But it's another story. I told this story before on another tribute I did to Tech Nine. He said he was in the studio with Lil Wayne, and this is how Lil Wayne gets his lyrics. He would look up into, we'll say, the sky or up in the air, because he was in the studio. And Tech Nine said he walked in, and Lil Wayne and a few other brothers, and they, I guess, and the other brothers that was in there with Lil Wayne, they knew how Lil Wayne gets his lyrics. So they were just patiently, just waiting on Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne was looking up. And Tech Nine said he walked in and said, "What is Lil Wayne looking at?" And he said he looked up, and he said Lil Wayne looked back down, and he looked at the other artists that were standing there, and he said he had said part of a verse. He said, "What do you think about that?" And all the artists are like, "Oh, that's dope, that's cool." And it's like Tech Nine said he was amazed, he was impressed by that. Like Lil Wayne drew his, because we all know Lil Wayne can freestyle top his head, and I think that's a gift. That's just the same as speaking off the cuff. Same thing. Speaking off the cuff is almost like freestyle. It's just like you're just not saying rhymes. It's the same thing. It's a gift because we're drawing from that universe. However way we do it, because everybody got their different ways. Well, as far as artists and rapping, everybody got their different ways of coming up with lyrics. But we all draw from that universe, whether we know it or not. That's where it comes from, especially melanated brothers and sisters. Even when if we're writing, it's still coming from the center of our universe, because our creativity comes from the pit of our soul, and that's our universe or innerverse, like I said, the great brother said. Again, that's not mine. Yeah, so I thought that was an amazing story Tech Nine told, and that's amazing. We can draw inspiration from that, and I'm sure Lil Wayne doing that in front of other artists gave them some inspiration, helped them tap in to their universe. You know what I mean? It's wonderful when we tap into that. So I just wanted to tell those stories, because I always talk about hip hop. And on the hip hop break, the song I got is, one song is Be True, and I played both of these before, but they're kind of reminders. And the other song is Keep Going. And I kind of rap fast on that song, and I actually freestyled it. Now I do write too, but as we all say, as brother and sister, when we're in that zone, and sometimes we can just hit that button like Mr. Cheeks, lights, camera, action. Sometimes we can just feel it. We know when we feel it, and we can just come out and we're aligned like what? Just like that universe, because that's where a lot of us are tapping into. And I think Tech Nine tapped into that, and many artists, J. Cole, Kendrick, I'm talking about even Drake. I know everybody have their different, but I'm speaking on the art and how one comes up with their idea, because Drake is a good artist. He can rap. I don't know nothing about the brother and the beefing and all that in his personal life, but as far as spitting lyrics and the art, yeah, he's cold at that. But if he's anything else going on, hey, as I always say, those who are committing toxic acts, if it's in the dark or behind the scenes or whatever the case, those bring judgment upon themselves. So I don't get into all that, because if one's doing bad, they'll sabotage themselves, So, but I try not to get into that, because I think Kendrick's a great artist. I think Drake's a great artist. Remember, I'm speaking on the craft, not the person, But as far as lyrics and spitting them, it's a gift. It really is. And speaking off the cuff and stuff like that. But reading is good also. We can incorporate all things. Why? Because it all comes from Mama Nature, that great divine, and of course, that good old universe. And We read and study and concentrate so we can protect our center. And our center involves ourselves, our family, our generals we're connected to, our brothers and sisters, whether biological or divine brothers and sisters. Because I want to give a salute to my brother Marlon and my sister Shahina. And I got to reach out. I just spoke to my brother this week. He called me, which was dope. And I was so excited. Yeah, he reached out to me because we had a lot of rain here a few days ago. And it was some areas that flood. So he called me up to check on me. So one love to my brother. And I got to reach out to Shahina. She's doing well. That's my sister. I got two brothers. And salute to my brother Cadius. I got a brother on my dad's side. And my dad, rest in peace and in power. And brother and sister on my mom's side. So salute to them. That's my biological brothers and my biological sister. Yeah, because I know I don't bring them up. But when I say family, they're a part of it too. And of course, my children, my biological children, and my divine children, they're a part of that center also. But the main focal point should be ourselves. Because when we got ourselves right, we on fire and nothing can fuck with us. I'm telling you, when you're an upright, strong general, brother or sister, younger or older, and exploring and getting away from distractions and superficial things, and know that there's bigger things going on out here in this world. You know, that's why I always say this is more than a platform, place of expression, therapy. You know, it brought my son and I together, you know. And I think one day, I don't know, it might not be this next father and son discussion, but one of these father and son discussion, we're going to have a call around, which what I mean is I'm gonna like call my mom and, you know, just call up some people while we're recording, you know, just call some other family members and stuff like that. And I think I'm gonna start doing that from time to time. So I'm gonna set up a time for that. And me and Lord Lamont, we'll speak on it and just discuss it, get some people on the phone and get some other voices on here, you know, and really spread out that positive energy, righteous ripple effect. All right. So leaders and teachers, I'm gonna read an introduction into connecting ourselves, aligning ourselves with the universe, and breaking down why it's so very vital and important to protect our center. All right, let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. All right. It may seem surprising, but there are some fascinating connections and areas of overlap between astronomy and the study of our neurons. Structural similarities between brain networks and cosmic structures. That's why I was saying computers, our body, and the universe are all similar. All right. Astrologists and neuroscientists have drawn comparisons between the structure of neuronal networks. Some of these words I don't say, I might fumble them. Okay. Structure of neuronal networks in the brain and the distribution of matter in the universe, particularly the cosmic web of galaxies. Beautiful, like I'm on one's banner here. Explore. We can do this in our mind. You know what I mean? Again, align with the universe, protect our center, know our center. And I guess we got to know our center in order to protect it. Real talk, because we have to know our center and don't think things are weird and just flow. You know, as long as it's divinely, it's righteous, it's not hurting ourselves or no one else. All right. Research suggests that both systems exhibit intricate web-like structures with interconnected nodes, neurons, and galaxies, respectively, linked by filaments. Now that I might have to look that word up. Linked by filaments. It's FILAMENTS. I'm gonna have to look that word up. But just giving one the gist of, you know, how the universe, computer, and our body, our mind, universe, it's all similar. Because again, especially melanated brothers and sisters, most things that are invented and created in this life, it all came from us. So that lets you know, that's an indication that we are or can be powerful. It's just a matter of what? Tapping in, you know. And we learn this as we go along. We keep learning, keep studying. I'm talking about righteous things now. Things that make us strong, bold, firm, but not ego driven, you know, not attention driven. just learning. And learning can be what? Fun to the mental. Thank you, Professor Griff. That's where I learned that from. I always mention teachers, family members, brothers and sisters that I have learned from. That's a part of aligning with the universe, the real ones now. Those we got to connect to our real generals out there, because they're far and few. I'm very serious, All right, so we're gonna get to this hip hop break, and we're gonna get back to some more breakdowns, some more information of aligning with the universe, and I want to go in really deep on protecting our center, So let's get to this hip hop break, because this is kind of a lot of information, and I hope it's not too complex. And one who's listening, I'm learning too now. So, and one who's listening, I hope you're able to kind of comprehend what I'm saying and reading, because it is learning about the universe and stepping into that deeper level of awareness can become a little complex. That's the whole thing. Great Divine want us to know that power. It could show us, but a lot of us are not ready, so we have to learn. But it has to come from where? Deep in the pit of that soul. It's never on the outside, brothers and sisters. Never. We'll hear that a lot, but it's facts and it's the truth. All right, so let's get to this hip hop break. Let me see. I gotta play with the computer, and thank those that's been riding along. Again, may that great divine stay in our soul, our life, and keep us prospering. And as I always say, and Queen Mayat Rogers, she commented on this song also. Like I said, she visits me every now and then, and as well as others who comment. Salute those who support a brother. And Lord Lamont, my son, thank you. We appreciate you, and we don't take it for granted. And when we do things like that, we truly are connected to our universe, our center. It's beautiful. We can breathe. All right. When we don't let distractions of life suffocate us, man. All right. I'm gonna be back after this. And this song is called Keep Going, No Matter What. I don't care where we are. Keep going. Because when we put in the effort, great things will come automatically. That's how that universe works. Be back after this.
Gotta keep going. No such thing as slowing. EBX, you gotta keep going. No such thing as slowing. You gotta keep going. Hey, no such thing as slowing. We gotta keep going. EBX. Keep on pushing through, making sure that we never lose. Making sure in this life never be the fool. Gotta be happy, no time to ever have no blue. Got my family in me, and you got it too. Stay righteous in this life, making sure we keep them righteous too. And when I stop this, I'ma stay around, making this positive sound. I'ma stay here in this life, stay tough, and I stay down. I'ma do what I got to do. I'ma stay here, never having no fear. I'm glad I got my family, looking at myself here in the mirror. Woo! Gotta keep going. Hey, you got no time for slowing. You gotta keep going. EBX, no such thing as slowing. Gotta be these, making sure in this life, man, gotta be free. Making sure my kids grow up and making sure that they see. Keep going up real high, making sure that I stand this life. If I'm a single man, it's okay if I don't got a wife, cause I got that God in me, making sure
right. That's right. Got to keep going, brothers and sisters. That that thing we looking for, or challenge we facing or dealing with, something good could be right around the corner. That's why we shouldn't be trapped in distractions and superficial things, because you miss things. Exploring, man, can bring so many possibilities, awareness, and beautiful things in our life. Again, we are the center of our universe, or INNERVERSE. Remember, that's not mine, that's another brother. But it's so freaking true. And I would have never even thought about things like that or come across. It's just amazing, the teachings and ideas we can get from a righteous brother, sister, or family. Be thankful for things like that, all right? Now, but we keep going, but in the pit of our soul, we got to be true. Be back. Excuse me, I'm fumbling. Be back after this, my general. Salute.
Brothers and sisters, when we be true, that great divine will take us right on through. Salute! Gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. Brothers and sisters, always be ready. Keep your life steady and be above anything that's fucking petty. Spirit so right, don't let it get heavy. Divine mind shine, yours and mine. As strong as fuck to the end of time. When your life's smooth, you don't have to grind. So no damn grind, and stay on point, and we'll be fine, fine, fine. Gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true, true. Life can be sweet when there is no deceit. A spirit so strong there will be no defeat. And God within, embedded so deep. And while I write rhymes, I continue to teach. Liberate your mind and set you free. And be a fucking beast, you're righteously. I got no time to be fucking weak, because there's people lost out here in these streets. I gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose or be confused. Don't you be no fool. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true, true, true. Real talk, be the best of ourselves. Salute. Gotta be true. Don't want us to lose.
Real talk. I don't want us to lose, brothers and sisters. But that's not up to me, is it? It's up to each individual, whether they want to lose in life or win in life. And we ain't talking about financially or being rich or none of that. Because when you're rich in your heart, things will come automatic. See, when we're connected to that universe, we'll know these things. We'll feel these things, And what I used to say about money, I did a podcast on money. It's not a money thing. It's an energy thing. Something like that, I said. And I spoke on how when you don't give a fuck, and I got to say it like that, when you don't give a fuck about money, now we know we need it for, make it in the world and all that old, all that stuff. But when you don't give a fuck about it, I don't know, somehow, and you don't obsess over it, somehow money comes, you can breathe, and don't be obsessive over it. And because I got this thing, if I want to buy something, I'm going to buy it. I don't care how much it costs. If I want it, I'm getting it, but I don't be willy-nilly out here just, free falling, spending money stupidly. But I notice, like, let's say, for instance, I go to Walgreens. And, again, if I want something, I'm going to get it. When one's truly connected to that great divine, Mama Nature, and that universe, and just flowing and living life on principles, We don't give a damn about no damn money. So with that being said, I notice when I go to Walgreens and I like buy something, and they always want your phone number. And would you like to get? No, I don't need no discount card. I'm good. Just give me my stuff. I'm straight. I don't need none of that. I don't need, what you need my phone number for? I never understood that. What do you need your number for? I'm going to the store to buy a product, not to get my number. No, you can't have my number. And they always want your number and to get this Walmart, what is it, Walgreens card or something you get. I don't care about that, you know. And I noticed the cashiers, they always look at me all crazy and you know, like, see, and that's that programming that a lot of people are under. You know, they feel they have to, you know. So I don't try to pinch if you're staying within your means, you won't have to because most people who worry about money must never had it. I don't know what that is, but I see that at my job too. Again, I'm a cook / chef. People who obsess over money, that's a problem, and that's gonna be your downfall. You know, so I don't give a shit about money. I really don't. And I don't brag or nothing like that. And of course, I've had people help me. I've helped people financially. I don't care about it. It doesn't bother me. And one thing that's my pet peeve, and when people tell me how much something costs, I don't give a fuck about how much, excuse me for cussing, but I don't care about how much it costs. You know, we can't take money with us. It's stupid, you know. And I'm going to draw an example from Mike Epps. Mike Epps said what made him, that's another brother I think that's connected to his center, real talk. Because Mike Epps can say some real shit, and he funny. And he also extraordinary, real talk. He'd definitely be on the extraordinary list. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a list. But he said once he knew that we really can't do nothing with money, all we doing is stacking it up to give it to someone else. Once you think like that, you don't give a fuck about it, because you can't do shit with when we're not on this planet. We can't control the money, where it's gonna go. So that's why I say enjoy it while we're here. Don't obsess over it. Do what we got to do as far as bills and responsibilities, because we're in this life. And the way the system's set up, in some areas you have to have cash, but don't let the money make us. You know, as they said in that movie Players Club, you know, we make the money, real talk. And you live a better life like that, and enjoy the simple things of life, and don't always think we gotta have the latest fashion or the latest phone and all that shit. Be satisfied with what we have. You know, again, we created all this, you know what I'm saying? But especially melanated brothers and sisters, we created all this. So just be happy and enjoy, and the joy in it, you know. And don't just speed through life. Slow time down. Be on divine time, not our time or man's time, because divine time is the best time. Because we're on divine time. Oh, we automatically connected to that universe. Because if you truly do have a divine soul, or you're either gonna have dreams about astrology, or astrology is going to intrigue you. Because learning about astrology in the universe, it takes you so far beyond this superficial shit, you know, as far as platforms, this world, the media, person, place, thing, you know. But again, it can take a lifetime to get to an ultimate super awareness state, real talk. So leaders and teachers, let's get to this next summary. And we got 3 more, and I'm gonna run through them pretty quick. A lot of information about aligning with the universe, or align with the universe, and always and forever. And it's a must that we protect our center. Again, that's ourselves, our family, generals we're connected to, so on and so forth. Let's go. Leaders and teachers, student spirit. Studies have found that complexity, remember I said learning about the universe and astrology and the neurons in our brain, it can be a little complex. It's supposed to be, you know, learning about the mind, the body, it's not easy for some of us, you know. All right, studies have found that the complexity and organization of these networks, despite vast differences in scale, display surprising similarities, possibly suggesting similar underlining physical principles, that word principles is, of development and connectivity. One study highlights, now this is about aligning with the universe and learning astrology and how it's good for our mind, and it expands our thinking, ideas, creativity. Let's go. One study highlights how the distribution of matter, density, fluctuations within the cerebellum's neuronal network resembles the distribution of matter in the cosmic web. And that can be you can take that different ways. Again, I'm learning too. I'm gonna read that again. One study highlights how the distribution of matter density fluctuations within the cerebellum, neuronal network resembles the distribution of matter in the cosmic web. So that, in other words, they're saying the brain is very similar to the universe. Real talk. But a lot of us aren't tapped into that. But again, I go back to Styles P when he was dreaming. That's him tapping in to his universe. All right. The atoms that make up our bodies, including those in our neurons, have a cosmic origin. Another example of we are so much like the universe because it comes from us. Everything we invented, made it, created comes from humans. All right. Let me see. Astronauts undergoing space flight experienced changes in brain structure. Wow. That's intriguing. And function, highlighting the brain's ability to adapt to extreme environments like microgravity. Studies have revealed brain structure alterations, including gray and white matter, volume shifts, and ventricular expansion influenced by the duration of spaceflight and repeated transitions between gravitational environments. So again, being, like they said, their brains expanded, and it probably hit parts of thoughts, and I would say thoughts and parts of their neurons in their brains that's never been tapped into before. So, and being an astronaut alone and even thinking about going in outer space, you're tapping into something there, so, but everybody's perspective and opinion is different. Every walk, every journey is different to each individual, but it's all reaching the same goal, to have peace in oneself and protecting one center, and passing that righteous ripple effect on to others. These adaptive changes are a focus of research within space neuroscience and can have implications for our understanding or overstanding of neuroplasticity. Now that's a funny word. I gotta spell it out. This neuroplasticity. I'm gonna spell it out. NEUROPLASTISITY. Neuroplasticity and the brain's resilience in the face of challenging conditions. So, in other words, that's another thing. Again, protecting that center. You hear what it said. Face challenging conditions. So, our brain can adapt to different environments, but we have to be tapped in to that power of our brain. That, in other words, we can bend things to our will righteously. We don't have to be affected and drawn in by everything we see, person, place, thing. No, it goes back to mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel. In the center of our universe, our psyche, brothers and sisters. That's the main headquarters, our psyche. All right. Last but not least, summary. The brain's perception of space. Research at the Salk Institute indicates that the neural networks in the hippocampus. Now, some of these words I have to look up. I've never said, so, and then I might fumble some of them, so forgive me. Hippocampus, critical for spatial navigation and memory. Wow. See, I'm learning too. Represent space in a manner consistent with non-linear hyperbolic geometry, which expands outward exponentially. Okay, spell out the word. Forgive me, y'all. Please forgive me. EXPONENTIALLY. 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 And don't T.I. say that. That's what that word T.I. they always make. He said exponentially or something like that. All right. Expansionally. In other words, again, expanding the brain. Our brain, the more we feed it, and I actually heard a brother, matter of fact, I heard Brother Kwaku say this recently. The more we feed our brain righteous stuff, good knowledge, things that's good for our mind, body, and soul, the more it expands. Because it's like a muscle, like we working out. Our body, the more we work on it, the more it expands. You know what I mean? And we can have it expand with righteous things, good things, and don't feel like we're stupid. If it's something we don't know, we go deeper into it. Whether it's a weakness, something about our body in the world, never get to that space. It's just something that we don't know. Not that we're stupid. Now, we have some people that we might, quotation marks, might perceive as that, but we have to go deeper, right? But especially within ourselves, All right. This suggests that the brain's processing of spatial information may follow principles mirroring those observed in the expanding universe. And that sums it all up. Again, everything in this universe, everything we created, robots, these AI, it all comes from us, So I said, I remember I made a podcast called NI, Natural Intelligence is the best intelligence of all, because one thing I say about a computer, it always glitches out, and we as humans, we can have issues, but if we can stay on it, we can stay fixed. We won't keep breaking. We keep studying, keep researching, again, stay away from distractions, as we all say. We can stay stable. But the difference between natural intelligence and AI, once it glitches, and especially if it go evil, if it go rogue, like we see in these movies, that's what I'm saying. We can't give, and this is my opinion, I'm not going to give all my life, as I heard from a great brother. Again, this ain't mine either. I'm not going to give all my life force to no damn robot. I'm sorry. Real talk. Because it comes from us. Robots are like our children. We birthed the robot. Real talk. So that's my perspective. That's my opinion. But guess what? It's a lot of generals that know this life for what it is, because we got our eye on that righteous sparrow looking above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? That's what the universe is all about. And like I say about the earth is small. And I said it was planets. So I guess Jupiter. And I have to probably do a little more research and studying on the universe and planets. But as you can see on my banner here, Jupiter is way bigger than the Earth. So we got to think beyond the Earth, beyond the world, beyond ourselves, Again, go where no brother, sister, man, or woman has ever gone before, in our mind. Real talk. So thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. I hope I didn't fumble those words too much. Some of them I have to look up, and just wanted to put an idea or a thought in one's psyche, expand our mind. And as you see in that summary, learning about astrology in a universe, it expands our brain. The more knowledge we feed it, it'll make us hungry for more, because learning can be what? Fun to the mental. Thank you, brother. Brother Professor Griff. Again, that's where I learned that from. It's just a wonderful, wonderful space to be. And it doesn't always have to be this dramatic thing. It can be fun learning oneself. Once we get through the madness, that if we have madness in one's soul, if we're not hurting nobody or causing nobody's demise or nothing like that, just, sometimes have trouble focusing, always have something positive to look forward to. If we need help with oneself, if we're not able, if we got somebody we trust and is righteous and really cares about us, if we need help, get it, but get back on board, stay in control of oneself, be the captain of one ship, and teach others to be the captain of their ship. We all can be captains of our universe, but we have to study, have to practice, cultivate that love, show that same energy to our generals we connected to, whether family, brother and sister in the world, online, our children, our biological brothers and sisters, and our divine brothers and sisters. But everyone has their own path. Everyone has to find their own universe within themselves. We got reachers and teachers, emphasis on righteous reachers and teachers out here that can show us the way. But only we, can drink that water. As we say, you can lead a horse to water, but only we can drink that water. Only it's up to us to expand that mind, you know. And I'm telling you, when we're stepping into righteous, we're automatically protected. Divine will protect us, you know. It could be an opinion and or a theory, but it's just those of us that are really connected and seeing amazing things that we couldn't explain that come from that universe. We know in some way, shape, or fashion that we are protected. But again, can't be caught up in trends, and we got to go way above and beyond, you know, these little petty spaces that this so-called matrix will try to keep us in, brothers and sisters. So again, thank those for coming in. Current subscriber, new subscriber, all those that comment, I salute you. May that great divine be in your life and protect you and protect us, as well as my family, my children, you know, my biological brothers and sisters, and my divine warriors out there, you know, brothers and sisters that's doing their thing, you know. May that great divine protect you and yours, you know, all of us, you know, and protect those that do have that light. Keep us going, you know. And if we do nothing else in this life, man, align with that universe. I'm telling you, it will take us into a whole different place. A whole new world will open up literally in our mind, you know, and then it will manifest on the outside. It's automatic. That's how principles work, you know, whether we in a small space, big space. If we got a righteous, on fire, passion, heart, things will come automatically. But distractions, evil things, you know, low vibrational thoughts and evil thoughts and all things, those are all hindrances. We'll never see the wider scope in ourselves and in life. So again, generals, brother, sister, family, align with that universe and do whatever it takes to protect our center. Salute.